Hey there, Doomsday Preppers! Today we're diving into the pantry to find out which foods will keep you going and which ones will leave you regretting your life choices. Think of it like a dance-off for your food storage, but instead of fancy footwork, we're looking for shelf life. So, buckle up, grab your emergency crackers, because who knows what's going to happen, and get ready to laugh and learn a little something about how to survive the end of the world. Or at least a really bad grocery day. Let's get started. Let's talk beans, people. No, not the kind that make you toot your own horn, though I'm sure those are useful in a doomsday scenario too. We're talking about canned beans, those little miracles of protein and fiber that can last longer than your last relationship. Seriously, canned beans are like the superheroes of the pantry. They're packed with nutrients, they can be eaten hot or cold, and they're so versatile. So, stock up on those cans, my friends, because when the world is ending, you'll be thanking me for the bean advice. Okay, let's talk about honey. No, not the cute little bees that make it, though they're pretty awesome too. I'm talking about the golden nectar itself, the stuff that makes everything sweeter, even a doomsday scenario. Did you know that honey never spoils? Seriously, it's like nature's own little time capsule of sweetness. Archaeologists have even found honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that's still good to eat, though I wouldn't recommend trying it, for safety reasons. So why is honey the ultimate doomsday food? Well, for starters, it's packed with energy-boosting carbohydrates. Plus, it's got antibacterial and antifungal properties, so it can help soothe a sore throat or a cut. So next time you're at the grocery store, stock up on honey. Your future self will thank you for it. All right, folks, let's talk about a pantry staple that's as essential as a good sense of humor during a crisis: rice. Seriously, white rice, when stored properly, can last for up to 30 years. That's right, 30. And the best part about rice is its versatility. You can make a million different dishes with it. Stir-fries, pilafs, risottos, rice pudding. It's like the blank canvas of the culinary world, just waiting for your creative and slightly desperate doomsday cooking. So next time you're at the store, grab an extra bag or two of white rice. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and it just might be the thing that gets you through the apocalypse. Let's talk about a food that's so good, it should be illegal to eat it straight from the jar, but we all do it anyway: peanut butter. Peanut butter is packed with protein, healthy fats, and fiber, making it the perfect fuel for all those doomsday activities you've got planned. Building a bunker, peanut butter; fighting off zombies, peanut butter. And the best part? Peanut butter has a surprisingly long shelf life. We're talking months, even years if you store it properly. Just keep it in a cool, dark place and it'll be there for you when you need it most. So, if you find yourself rationing out tablespoons like they're gold nuggets, don't blame me. Blame it on the deliciousness. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Powdered milk? Really? It's not exactly the most glamorous food on the planet. But trust me on this one, folks. When it comes to doomsday prepping, powdered milk is a secret weapon you don't want to be without. Think about it. Fresh milk goes bad quickly, and those shelf-stable cartons can be pricey. But powdered milk? That stuff lasts for ages. Seriously, you can store it in your pantry for years, and it'll still be good to go when you need it. You can use it in baking, add it to your coffee or tea, or even just mix it with water for a glass of emergency milk. Plus, powdered milk is a great source of calcium and vitamin D, which are essential for strong bones. So, don't knock it till you try it, folks. Powdered milk, it's not just for grandmas anymore. Now, it pains me to do this because I love bread as much as the next person. A warm, crusty loaf fresh out of the oven? Forget about it. But sadly, my carb-loving comrades, fresh bread is public enemy #1 in the doomsday pantry. Bread is a staple, a comfort food, the foundation of 1,000 sandwiches. But the sad truth is, fresh bread molds faster than you can say post-apocalyptic sourdough starter. So, what's a bread lover to do? Well, I've got 2 words for you: crackers and hardtack. Crackers, especially the saltine variety, have a surprisingly long shelf life and can be crumbled up for soups or eaten plain. And hardtack? That stuff can last for decades. It's basically like an edible brick. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? So when you're stocking your doomsday pantry, resist the siren song of fresh bread. Your stomach and your sanity will thank you in the long run. Oh, fresh fruit, how I love thee. Juicy berries, crisp apples, sweet, sweet watermelon. But alas, my friends, fresh fruit is another one of those culinary casualties of the apocalypse. Fresh fruit is delicate, perishable, and bruises if you look at it funny. And in a doomsday scenario, the last thing you need is a diva demanding a private jet and a bowl of only green M&Ms. But don't despair. There are still ways to get your fruit fix in the post-apocalypse. Dried fruits like raisins, cranberries, and apricots have a long shelf life and are packed with nutrients. And canned fruits, while not as glamorous as their fresh counterparts, can still satisfy that sweet craving. So when you're stocking your doomsday pantry, think long-term. Swap out those fresh berries for dried cranberries and opt for canned peaches instead of that tempting basket of pears. Okay, cheese lovers, this one's gonna sting a little. Soft cheeses, those creamy, decadent delights that make life worth living, well, they're not exactly ideal for a doomsday scenario. Soft cheeses are delicate creatures. They require refrigeration, they have a short shelf life, and they tend to get a little, shall we say, fragrant when they're past their prime. But don't despair, cheeseheads. There's still hope for your dairy-loving souls. Hard cheeses like cheddar, parmesan, and pecorino have a much longer shelf life and can even be stored at room temperature for extended periods. So stock up on those blocks of cheddar, grate some parmesan over your doomsday pasta, and remember, hard times call for hard cheese. And hey, if all else fails, there's always cheese powder. It might not be the same as a gooey brie, but it'll add a cheesy kick to your survival meals. All right, carnivores, it's time to face the music. Fresh meat is about as practical in a doomsday scenario as a screen door on a submarine. It's tough to imagine a world without juicy steaks, sizzling bacon, and crispy fried chicken. But alas, the reality is that fresh meat is highly perishable and requires refrigeration, two things that might be in short supply when the world goes haywire. Unless you've got a walk-in freezer powered by hamsters on wheels, you're going to need a more sustainable protein source for the long haul. And that, my friends, is where canned and dried meats come in. Canned tuna, salmon, chicken, and even Spam, don't knock it till you try it, can last for years on the shelf and provide a much-needed protein boost to your doomsday diet. So, while you might have to bid farewell to those backyard barbecues for a while, don't worry. There are still plenty of ways to get your meat fix in the post-apocalypse. Okay, health nuts, I know you love your leafy greens. Spinach, kale, lettuce, they're packed with vitamins, minerals, and all sorts of good-for-you stuff. But let's be real, folks. In a doomsday scenario, leafy greens are about as useful as a solar-powered flashlight during a blizzard. They're delicate, they wilt faster than a politician's promise, and they take up a lot of precious storage space. But don't worry, veggie lovers. There are still ways to get your greens in the post-apocalypse. Canned vegetables, while not as glamorous as their fresh counterparts, are a great source of nutrients and have a shelf life that would make a Twinkie jealous. So stock up on canned spinach, green beans, peas, and whatever other veggies your heart desires. The end is just the beginning of a delicious meal. And there you have it, folks. The foods that will keep you thriving and the ones that will leave you high and dry. Remember, prepping doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. In fact, it can be a fun and delicious way to explore new foods and get creative in the kitchen. So stock up on those pantry staples, experiment with some new recipes, and don't forget to have a sense of humor about it all. Until next time.